Among the list of devotional poets, few rank as high as George Herbert. The author of King of Glory, King of Peace, and other recognizable poems, he lived a short but impactful life. He was born into a wealthy and powerful family in Wales in 1593. His father was a member of Parliament, a justice of the peace, and later the High Sheriff of Montgomeryshire. George Herbert earned both bachelor's and master's degrees from Trinity College in Cambridge, and subsequently became the university's public orator until 1627. In 1624, Herbert followed in his father's footsteps and became a member of Parliament himself. The career aspirations he held, aided by his positive relationship with King James I, ended when James died a year later in 1625. Herbert entered the priesthood in 1629 and was appointed rector of the small rural parish of Fugglestone St. Peter. Here he kept a home with his wife and 3 adopted children, writing poetry and making routine trips to the nearby cathedral at Salisbury to attend services. He died in 1633 of consumption at the age of 39. George Herbert is remembered today for his expressive and intimate poetry. He wrote poetry in English, Latin, and Greek, and all of his surviving English poems are on religious themes. These are characterized by rhetorical devices drawing connections based on function rather than form. For example, his poem The Windows compares a preacher to glass, fragile on its own, but able to let God's light shine through. Herbert also plays with space in his poetry, organizing the words to emphasize meaning, such as in Easter Wings, printed sideways to reveal the shape of wings, or The Altar, shaped as an altar. His poems are full of wordplay and double meaning. This sort of creativity fell out of favor, and Restoration poet John Dryden dismissed Herbert's writings as a way to torture one poor word 10,000 ways. Herbert remained esteemed for his piety, but his literary style would need to wait centuries to be appreciated again. The intention of King of Glory, King of Peace is made clear in the opening line. This is not a hymn of loud adoration or worship, but of deep, unending love. Herbert hopes that his never-ceasing love will move God to hear us. The second verse opens with the value of singing God's praise. It is our utmost art. Herbert uses his song to express the cream or the richest essence of his heart. And even in the face of his sins, which argue his unworthiness, God will hear and accept this song. The final verse tells us when to sing, not only on Sunday, surrounded by our community and worship leaders, but every day, 7 whole days of the week. Even though we cannot be in heaven with God, our heart serves as a temple for praise. Herbert ends with a statement of humility. What we can give God is so small in comparison to what God can give us, but it is a welcome offering nonetheless. Herbert's text is set in our 1982 hymnal to a tune by David Charles Walker, a priest, chaplain, organist, and composer. The tune is named General Seminary, after the General Theological Seminary in New York City, where Walker served as organist and director of music. Shortly before Herbert's death, he sent a collection of his poems to his friend Nicholas Farrar, with the instruction to publish them if he thought they might turn to the advantage of any dejected poor soul, and if not, to burn them. Thankfully, Farrar had the foresight to keep them, and they provide a depth of devotional literature for us still today. Please enjoy King of Glory, King of Peace.
King of glory, King of peace, I will love thee. will